Gordon Ramsay, the renowned chef famous for his fiery personality and culinary expertise, once found himself in a memorable situation involving the iconic actress Joan Collins. During an appearance on a popular talk show, he recounted an incident where he asked Collins to leave his restaurant, not because of any issue with her personally, but due to her dining companion, a food critic who had previously given the establishment a scathing review. This story, shared with a mix of humor and reflection, highlights the challenges faced by those in the restaurant industry when dealing with harsh criticism. The anecdote began when the topic of restaurant reviewers arose during the conversation on the show. Ramsay, never one to shy away from sharing his experiences, dove right in by admitting that he had inadvertently ejected Joan Collins from his premises. The circumstances were rooted in professional frustration rather than personal animosity. It turned out that Collins was accompanied by a critic who had lambasted the restaurant in a prior review, painting it in an unflattering light that Ramsay felt was unjust. Months after the negative critique, the pair returned to the restaurant, perhaps assuming that the passage of time would smooth over any lingering tensions. However, Ramsay was not inclined to extend hospitality under those conditions. He directly addressed the critic, politely but firmly declining to serve them. This decision, while bold, stemmed from a place of defending his hard work and the reputation of his team. Collins, being the critic's guest, was understandably upset by the turn of events, as it placed her in an awkward position through no fault of her own. Despite the initial confrontation, Ramsay made it a point to rectify the situation afterward. He extended an apology to Collins, acknowledging that his actions, while driven by principle, might have been overly abrupt. This gesture shows a side of Ramsay that balances his tough exterior with a sense of fairness and accountability. It's a reminder that even in high-stakes environments like fine dining, where egos and reputations are on the line, there's room for reconciliation. Ramsay elaborated on the difficulties inherent in receiving criticism, especially when it comes from individuals he perceives as less knowledgeable about the intricacies of food and restaurant operations. The pressure of being constantly judged can be immense, particularly for someone like Ramsay, who has built an empire on excellence and innovation in the culinary world. He expressed how challenging it is to operate under such scrutiny, where every dish and service detail is dissected, often without full context or understanding. This particular story is not isolated. Ramsay revisited it in a documentary series that delves into his life and career. In the program, he provides more context about the critic in question, describing a pattern of what he saw as a personal vendetta. The critic's reviews went beyond constructive feedback, veering into territory that felt vindictive and unwarranted. When the critic arrived with Collins, Ramsay viewed it as an opportunity to stand his ground, regardless of the high-profile company. He recalled the moment vividly, waiting for them to settle in, peruse the menu, and then approaching to request their departure. Ramsay emphasized that no amount of glamour or association with celebrities like Collins would sway him from his decision. The principle mattered more than the potential fallout, illustrating his unyielding commitment to integrity in his business. Even as he admitted that his actions might have been misguided in hindsight, he framed it as a reaction to provocation, where the critic's presence was the true issue. Humorously wrapping up the tale, Ramsay noted that such incidents occur when distinguished guests like Collins dine with individuals he deems unworthy or problematic. This lighthearted conclusion softens the narrative, turning what could be seen as a confrontational episode into an entertaining story that humanizes him. It reveals the passionate side of Ramsay, where emotions run high in the pursuit of culinary perfection. Expanding on this incident, it's worth exploring the broader implications for the restaurant industry. Chefs like Ramsay invest countless hours into crafting menus, training staff, and creating atmospheres that delight patrons. A single negative review can impact bookings, staff morale, and overall success. When criticism feels personal or biased, it can provoke strong responses as seen here. Ramsay's story underscores the human element behind the scenes, where professionals must navigate not just the art of cooking but also the politics of public opinion. Joan Collins, with her legendary status in entertainment, adds a layer of intrigue to the narrative. Known for her roles in classic shows and her enduring presence in pop culture, her involvement elevates the anecdote from a routine restaurant spat to a celebrity crossover tale. One can imagine the surprise on her face when the situation unfolded, caught between her companion's history and Ramsay's resolve. Ramsay's apology afterward is a crucial part of the story, demonstrating growth and professionalism. It shows that while he stands by his principles, he recognizes the value of mending fences, especially with someone as respected as Collins. This balance is key to his persona, tough but fair, demanding yet capable of humility. In the documentary, Ramsay's recounting provides deeper insight into his mindset. He describes the critic's vendetta as prolific and brutal, suggesting a series of attacks rather than a one-off opinion. This context justifies, in his view, the decisive action taken. The presence of Collins was almost a shield for the critic, assuming her star power would grant immunity. Ramsay's refusal to back down challenges that notion, asserting that rules apply equally, no matter the company. The phrase, "whether you're with Joan Collins or sat with the Queen," captures Ramsay's egalitarian stance in his domain. It's a bold declaration that in his restaurant, quality and respect are paramount, above social status or fame. This attitude has contributed to his success, building a brand synonymous with excellence and no-nonsense leadership. Reflecting on the incident, Ramsay acknowledges it was wrong in some ways, but attributes it to the heat of the moment. The term knobheads adds a colloquial, Ramsay-esque flair, injecting humor into the retelling. It humanizes the chef, showing that even experts have moments of exasperation. This story also ties into Ramsay's broader career narrative, where he has often clashed with critics and competitors. His television shows frequently showcase his direct style, mentoring aspiring chefs while calling out mediocrity. Incidents like this one reveal the real-world stakes behind the on-screen drama.